down in Houston, or Arlington, sorry.
Here we go. Oh, sorry, I was muted. I said, as competitors, there's no other way you'd want it to go. Every day you step on the field, always try to have more fun than every other player that's out there. Try to be the best of your position. Try to do something every single game to help the team win. Try to score every time you come to the plate. Try to win one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, one game at a time, one series at a time. Don't look farther down the schedule than the team that's in front of you. And no matter who we play, this group of guys will come out and give a best effort. And we've had a year to really improve our skills and improve our chemistry as a team. So no matter who we play, we're going to give it our best effort.
Kevin?
Robert, when we talked last year, you came in guns blazing, charging every ground ball, and Casey kind of helped you into how it is playing infield in the SEC. Hopefully you hadn't had any of those instances this year, but how has it been with Jalen battles, and how's the chemistry with you two?
Jalen's an unbelievable defender. Jalen, he's very smooth. Doesn't miss ground balls in practice. He's so in control of his body. He's fun to be around. He smiles. He wants to learn. He gives good feeds. We work well together. He's fun to be around, and just a great teammate.
Matt?
I know you faced Peyton in some scrimmages this preseason. What looks different from him versus maybe this time a year ago?
I would say just his demeanor on the mound is different. You can tell some guys when they get on the mound, that they're ready to get you, and some guys they're a little timid. And as a hitter over the past year, you can just see the confidence build up in Peyton. And whenever you look out there and see him on the mound, it's go time, because he's going to bring it. And if you don't match his intensity or his focus, you're going to get dominated. So Peyton, obviously, the stuff's gotten a lot better, but you can tell just by the way Peyton walks around, he's very confident. He believes in what he has, and he's not afraid to throw his fastball in any count, which is a big trademark to being a great pitcher.
Earlier, Dave was asked about possibly having runners on second base to start extra innings like they've done in some other leagues. He said, we're going to play regular baseball. As a player, what do you like in extra innings? I mean, do you like that rule with players or with runners on second, or do you like the more traditional style?
As a baseball player, you have to know how to play in that situation. All situations that are presented to you as a baseball player are fun and exciting. You got to find a way to get the job done. Each situation brings a new challenge, and we work a lot on situations like that, truthfully, in practice, whether you're on defense or offense, advancing the runner, holding runners when you're playing defense, pitchers, delivering the ball, being quick to home plate. It's all stuff we talk about, and it's the game that we've played for such a long time. So truthfully, I mean, whether they start a man with no one on base or runner on second base or bases loaded, whatever the situation is, we're good enough, everyone in that locker room, to get the job done.
Hutch?
Robert, it seems like Zeb's going to get an opportunity to start this year. What kind of differences have you seen in him since he's made the transition from, back into the bullpen closer type into a starter?
I truthfully didn't get to see him a whole lot last year out of the bullpen, just about, I think, 3 or 4 outings, because he didn't pitch a whole lot in the early season because he had an injury. But going back to high school, whenever I knew Zeb very well, to now, I would say the biggest difference is kind of like Peyton, the confidence on the mound. His just demeanor on the mound is different. And obviously his fastball's gotten better. He has angle. I think that's what makes Zeb so effective, is his angle on the mound. I believe he releases a ball from about 7 feet with his, with high angle and high release point. So I think that's what makes Zeb so effective. Just throwing strike one, controlling his breaking ball, getting it over the plate. When you can go strike one with a fastball and then get a breaking ball over, or vice versa, it's very, very tough as a hitter to come back from that. And Zeb has so many wipeout pitches, and we voted him captain this year because we believe in Zeb. We believe in the personality he brings to the locker room and to the team. And Zeb's a fun guy to be around.
And that also reminds me, I mean, you got to go through fall ball this year, and you not just with the team for a few weeks before the season starts. So what's your comfort level now compared to what it was this time last year?
I think a little bit last year I was a little naive to everything. Just going through practice and everything, I didn't really have a good feel for a lot of stuff. So this year, I've learned a lot more about the Razorbacks, what it's like to be a Razorback, how to carry yourself in the locker room, on the field, how to interact with players, how to interact with coaches. So, I mean, the more you're in your situation, the more you're around people, the more comfortable you get. But I've always believed in myself, always believed in the people around me. And I think that's what makes you a great teammate. If you believe in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. So if you think you can or you can't, you're probably right.
Bob.
Hey, Robert, how you doing? We asked some of the guys about this a while back about defense up the middle. You're obviously a big part of that. I guess with Casey and Franklin there in center and you and Jalen, just how do you feel about the defense up the middle there?
Going back to what I said about Jalen, in practice, guys just don't miss balls. They take it very seriously. With Casey and Jalen and Christian, just watching those guys in practice and how the routines throughout the pandemic and all this time we had to prepare for this season has really changed a lot, just as far as how they really take charge of their development defensively, and they put an emphasis on that. I think that's why they're so good at it. And Christian, one thing that he's been doing lately is taking ground balls at shortstop and throwing across to first base to work on his accuracy, work on throwing from different angles. It's a drill that he heard Andrew Jones used to do, the great center fielder with the Braves back in the day. So, just watching how guys prepare is, I think, the funnest part about all of this. Just watching the pitchers prepare, watching the infielders prepare, watching the pitchers do PFPs and how that's developed over the year. One thing about Peyton and Zeb is a year ago compared to now, a year ago compared to now, their PFPs have been tremendously better, picking up the ball, throwing the bases, pickoffs, our first and third basemen, watching them pick balls, watching them, our coach Phil and Bobby hit ground balls to everyone consistently throughout the year. It's been so fun to watch guys prepare for the season.
You talked about everybody but yourself. How about you in the middle?
Well, I always believe in myself. If I didn't believe in myself, I don't think I'd be here. So whatever challenge is thrown at me this year, I feel like I prepared myself for physically, mentally, and spiritually. So I feel like I'm ready to go.
There's one more. What'd you think of the Benintendi trade to the Royals, and did you have any advance notice on that?
My dad called me after it went down. He said, "Don't tell anyone." But it's fun to see. It's fun to see. They got a good lineup. If you look at it, they got Merrifield, Benintendi, Soler, Dozier, Perez, Mondesi. They kind of got a squad this year. So watch out for the Royals.
Thanks.
Matt, I'll bring it back to you for the final couple questions here.
Sounds like you know the Royals lineup pretty well. Hey, I wonder, going indoors here so close to the season and having to be in there so many days in a row, what are your thoughts on that? And just what are your thoughts on that, being indoors?
Obviously, very thankful to the Fowlers and everyone that put money into this facility so we can have the opportunity to work out inside. Very thankful to all these people that have left Arkansas better than they found it. So we, as this 2021 team, can experience such great facilities. And we're about to move into another great facility so we can have the opportunity to develop when the weather permits us from being outside. So just very thankful to all those people. And we getting better inside, believe it or not. And, our pitchers are still able to throw. Defensively, we're still able to take ground balls, still able to hit. We can have scrimmages. It's such a blessing, truthfully, to be able to develop no matter what the the weather or circumstances are. And we're just very appreciative.
And I don't know that Arkansas's recruiting can get a whole lot better in the Kansas City area. They've been cleaning up there for several years, but having been in Tindy there, Isaiah Campbell had such a great year a couple of years ago. You've got some name recognition. I wonder how much you think all of this helps the Razorbacks in their efforts to continue to have an imprint there.
I think the biggest attraction, truthfully, being from Kansas City, not only is coach from there and so many great players are from there, and not only is this a great facility and a great campus to be around, but it's not far from home, truthfully. And it's only about 3.5 hours from home. I don't like being far from home. I like to see my family often. So my mom and dad are able to drive up here on the weekends. If we get a weekend off, I'm able to drive home. I think that's what's so unique about all this. And the fact that it's not far from home and such a great opportunity to get better and learn from such a great coaching staff. It's hard to go anywhere else.
You think baseball's pretty good up there?
Yes, of course.
All
Of course, everyone sleeps on Kansas City, but yeah, I love it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for your time, Robert.
Thanks, guys.